You're listening to the Sasha Davis Podcast, a show about overcoming fear and manifesting your dream life. Each week, we'll dive deep into real stories and tangible advice about spirituality, law of attraction, mindset, and money so that you can be your happiest, healthiest, and most abundant self. You ready? Here we go.
Oh, welcome back to the podcast, guys. Today I have another interview for us. I'm just laughing because I'm like, third time's a charm. Anyways, I have Dee here, my friend Dee here with us today, and she is a success and business coach. And she is going to share just a little bit more about her story. She's been an entrepreneur for many years. She's going to give us some tips, some tricks, some insight onto what it is that she helps her clients with. So I'm excited for this conversation. Dee, if you want, Dee, can you go ahead and introduce yourself for us here?
Yeah, sure. I'm excited. Last week when we tried to record this, I know that it was Mercury, it was in retrograde, and there was also a full moon coming in, blood full moon. And I know it was so many stuff. And I think that, a lot of people say yes, Dee, you're a business strategist. You're a badass business coach. And I have to tell you, Sasha, because I'm very excited for this conversation to just tap into a little bit of a feminine energy that you are giving out there into this world. And I'm really, really excited to have this conversation when we step into our doing masculine energy and when we are in our receiving feminine energy, which you are right now because you are giving a birth to the third baby. But overall, I'm a mama of three too. And I also have this fun 3C addiction. I love chai. I love chocolate, and I absolutely love chat. So when you see me online, better get yourself into the chatty mode because we're going to have a conversation.
I love that. Yeah. What's funny is you're one of the very first people. I've really heard this a few times where people say that I've tapped into this feminine energy. They always tell me that I'm so wild and out there and the masculine energy, but I'm very much in that feminine zone right now. Because
you're goddess. You are goddess. Seriously.
Oh goodness. Yep. Number 3 will be gracing us with his or her presence here in about a month or two. So countdown is on.
So good. This little person, and this is so fun because this little person is already, because I feel that you gave me so inspiration throughout our journey, getting to know each other. Mm-hmm. And I just feel that this baby already makes impact without even being present in this physical form on this planet, right?
Oh,
Do you feel
that.
it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've had a couple people say that too. They're like, this baby, it's funny because this is number 3. And it's every time I've had a kid, I have all these ideas, I have all this stuff. And I don't know if it's because I'm trying to get things done before baby comes or if the baby just gives me motivation or what, but yeah, totally feeling it this time too.
So awesome.
But anyways, why don't you tell listeners a little bit about your business? I know last time we chatted, I think you said you've been an entrepreneur for 17 years or something like that.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me how you got into it.
Yeah, so I started kind of, and this is where it's a full circle probably,
Mm-hmm.
how we actually say yes to opportunities that are really aligned with our kind of a soul calling or whatever you want to, mission, purpose, whatever you want to call it. My first business, it was in fashion retail business. And it was opportunity that was actually presented to us, to my husband and I, through his brother that was living in Germany. And he said, I have this really good supplier that can, really give you a great deal for fashion accessories. I said, yeah, let's do it. I was 21. I didn't know a clue what I was doing. I just knew that there is an opportunity, I came out of college and I was 1 year in a top high fashion sales industry, and I knew I had this incredible female mentor that taught me how to serve clients. High fashion clients, you're not selling them the the piece of clothes, you're selling them the story. And that's where I got introduced into sales. And I said, yes, let's just do fashion. That's where I'm in. And it was kind of an opportunity. And it really kind of started in 2003, and then 2008 hit us pretty hard. So I went back to university, actually to work at university. We had a part-time, our store still, and we had the first baby. And I just said, I need stability, which led to kind of losing my mojo, kind of, that stability, that comfort zone, that's yucky. I don't want this. No. And we found ourselves like, still he had his job, his business. And I was always in that CEO mindset, entrepreneurial mindset, always, trying ways and seeking opportunities to explore my potential. What is that next? What can I do more? Until this point where I'm like, how can I be more? Which is like, I did everything. I did all the crazy stuff. We've been in 5-6 different industries, from food to taxi to cleaning to everything. Where network marketing, health industry, where I'm this coaching. I really, and it might be like something else in 2, 5, 10 years, but now I really enjoy being there for my clients and seeing their results instead of me doing something. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
It's such a soulful mission, I think. Just these changes, creating these changes. Like, when you sell a piece of clothes, like, do you change someone's life? Yeah, for that instant gratification. But when you actually, on the core level, you change someone's belief, that can have like impact on next generation. So that's why I feel this is so powerful, what we do.
So how did you get into the coaching industry, going from fashion to all of those things to now into coaching?
Yeah, so 2017, we closed our restaurant which we had with pancakes, and it was like, okay, so what do I do now? And I had my pretty successful network marketing business as well. On the side, we built a company in 5-6 different countries. And I was coaching already there, because you have to coach and lead and kind of lead your team. And there was a client of mine, customer, who said, you know what, I want to start this business, but I don't want to be in this business, network marketing. I don't believe in this. And I said, okay, so what do you want to do? And she said, well, I want to start my yoga business. Yoga helped me to transform my life. And she said, I see you as my business mentor. And I said, really? And she said, yes, I want you to coach me, to guide me, to establish my business plan. In theory, I knew it because I have a master's degree in business. So I knew how to set up a business plan. I'd done several business plans in school. But I never applied something for my business, or for someone else. Of course, you do the numbers and projection and financial, all this stuff for your business, but I never did something like robust for someone else. And I said, okay, let's go. And she said, okay, so how much would you charge me? And this hit me hard. What? How much? Like, what are we talking about? And I said, 1K. I did, like, Sasha, in my core, I was cringing. I said, this woman will not pay $1,000 for coaching. And she said, yes, let's close the deal, pay in full. I was like, whoa, this works.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that 3-month became 1-year contract, and was such a beautiful journey. And that's where it started. And it just, went from one-on-one coaching to group coaching programs, workshops, masterminds, and all this good stuff.
Yeah, I totally feel you there. When I first stepped into like the coaching world, because mine was a little bit different, because I've always had people like asking me on advice, like, what should I do in this situation? What should I do with this? Or, oh, you're so lucky. How did you get that? Or, and it was all these conversations. So I just like constantly felt like I was giving advice. And then somebody was like, can I hire you as my mentor? I'm like, wait a minute, what? Is this a real thing?
Right.
But the money stuff definitely comes up. So, okay. So after.
I want to do it for free,
Yes. And I don't know if it's like a worthiness thing or what, but what was some of those stories that were kind of coming up for you? Because mine is always like, who am I to charge this, or who am I to do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, always. Imposter in one way or another always came. Even now, when I have 5-figure clients, it still comes, oh my goodness. But it's always like that. It's not even now about me, but it's how much do I charge this person so they can stretch themselves?
Yep.
And also I stretch myself because I coach someone on a higher level. So they raise a standard and I raise my standard. So going back to 1K to now, it has been a growth, and mostly, not because I consider myself more knowledgeable, but because I invested so heavily in myself and I know what's my worth. Like, it's just because I keep on investing. You know how we are just junkies. Like, we seek for knowledge, for guidance, for support. And I believed at that first point, because I didn't had mentors at that time, I just felt in coaching. I actually signed up for my first coach in December. That was in December 2017. Afterwards, so it was kind of I got a client before I got coached by someone. So that was like a little bit internal issue, like who am I? Yeah, who am I? So now when I invest, and I feel now, Sasha, that it's like, if someone says no, I really believe, like, yes, just go. I feel it. I don't need to even convince you. It's, you're saying no to yourself and not to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard lesson to learn, though, when you're first getting started, I think, in any business industry, or any type of like sales or anything like that. Like, I remember, I used to be, I've been in sales for as long as I can remember, and you probably experienced this too. On some level, you're just like, oh, what do I do to make them say yes? Or what did I say to make them say no? Or da 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 da. And you almost take it personally versus, having them work through their own reasons why they didn't want the product or the service.
Yeah, that's a great point. When I really struggle to let go, when I know in my core that they are a great match and that I could actually help them. And then I internally struggle, and then I would even go like, okay, I'm still like in this, can I just give them like a free session or something? Not because I want to show them that, but because they can experience like this little win, so they can take it and really like start to create shifts and transformation. Because sometimes it's just like 15 minutes with someone and they will say, oh yeah, I got this backwards. Let's just, open a new fresh piece of paper and just let's start fresh. This is where I'm now. I'm unlocking my potential. Everything is possible. It's just like that 15-minute conversation can change everything. And sometimes it hurts me when people don't see that. And they say, when student is ready, mentor appears, or teacher, or whatever. But sometimes it's just really hard to let go of someone who you really know that you're really energetically matched and you would do such a great work, but they are just not there yet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big mindset piece that comes to it. So so after working with that first person, what did you learn and how has your business shifted since then?
Oh, so
I know.
I went,
this is loaded question.
Yeah, loaded. Like that 2018 was a big learning curve for me. I was the first year, went through a burnout. My father had a heart attack. We almost divorced. And then I had an abortion. It was a year full of shit. But it was also like, it taught me that I need to slow down in order to speed up. And also to, where's that zone of genius? I was doing everything in my business. I always thought, people are telling you, when you create your business, you will have a freedom, most of all, like time freedom. I didn't have no time freedom, no emotional freedom, no money, nothing to show for. And I was just like, you're a bunch of balonies. Like, what are you saying? Like, what a freedom. And in June 2018, after I launched my first signature program, which I worked my butt off and totally failed, my friend had mercy and she said, okay, I'm going to buy this program. 50% off, and then it should be a group coaching program, and instead of that it was 3-month one-on-one experience with my friend. So it really got me to a place where I needed to just think how my business model will look like, and what are the things that I don't want to, like, ultimately don't want to do in my business.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a break that summer. I joined the Mastermind, and I was just like, I needed that surrounding of people that are just on that level where they, they're there to serve, change the world, that change making mentality. I needed like people who are hungry to make a change. And in August, I met my first partner and we launched a group program, and that was so cool because we were coaching, we were teaching, we were speaking, and I was in my zone. We had my assistant, her assistant. That was the first time that I hired someone, and we enrolled on this first cohort. We enrolled 50 students, and that felt so effortless. And I said, this is how my business will look like. We will go into a launch. No fuzz behind the scenes. People will do the stuff, the magic behind the scenes, and we're just going to show up on the front line and deliver value.
So what did that look like? How did you navigate that? Because I've been the behind the scenes on a couple launches. Well, I guess I've been the face of a couple of my own launches. But what helped you make that successful, and how did you guys determine what that team looked like?
I think like when you work with a partner is that certain accountability where we both like, don't slack. Here, when you work in a team, it's the kind of different machine, you can't just procrastinate. You have, we set up a timeline and we needed to work through the plan, and we had tons of fun. Like really, it was so much fun to work with someone who gets you, and you like, we became a mind readers, like, let's do this. And this was so cool. And we had a group. It was like first group program that we also did in a Facebook group. People were so engaged. Like that was in 2018 when Facebook groups like were really exploding. And engagement was through the roof. Like people were giving us reviews, testimonials. So back on that, like we then this was a low ticket program. And then we, ended up creating a business model from this low ticket program, and then high-end coaching 2-to-1, and then a membership even. So it really went like step by step, like creating that free experience, and then like low ticket program, one-on-one, like high, and membership, which was like kind of a passive income. So I experienced that, and that was so cool to just see how much you can go when you are 100% in with the right person.
So that was going to be my next question, is how do you choose like the right person to work with? Because I've had a lot of people, ask me to partner, and maybe it's just my own like fears coming up, or, I've done a couple partnerships and they didn't, go according to plan, or, I felt like I held up my end of the deal, but like the other person didn't, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So how did you guys figure out how that was a good match or whatever?
So this was really a fun thing. She came on my podcast. So yeah, in the midst of that, like in 2018, I said, you know what, I didn't launch my podcast, but I had my live series at that on Facebook. And this person, her assistant contacted me and she said, this person wants to be on your live show. And I said, yes, cool. Like immediately, like first minute of our conversation, it was like, you're my soul sister. When you just feel it.
Yeah.
Like, I just said, like, can this be true? Like, even more crazy person than I am? Like, no way. She has like 3 kids, and like our stories were so similar, and the energy was just like, I think internet went down several times when we just wanted to record our first live show, and was like, what's going on? And she said like, we are too much for this. So it was really crazy, and yeah, we clicked. It was really that was probably the first time in my business that I listened to my gut and not being in my, my mind. Is this like rational? Is this even like logical? We didn't had any contracts, like nothing. She trusted me. I trusted her, and it was such a beautiful experience, just, creating. Would I do it again, like without, no, now, probably not now at this stage, but then I it didn't felt that I have anything to lose. Like seriously, I didn't had anything to lose. She had probably more, because she already had like, really successful business at that time. So, but she trusted me. I don't know why. Like, Rebecca, if you're listening to this, I don't know why you trusted me. So it was really, yeah, I needed someone who will guide me. She was very much into a mindset, and I was very into strategy. So we combined those, mindset and business strategy tools, and it was fusion. It was so magical. It was beautiful.
I love that. Yeah. And you kind of led me to where I wanted to go next. And that was like trusting your gut and like tuning into like the energy of things, right? Because there will be so many times where we're like, ugh, not this, but we'll like force ourselves to do it anyways. And I am so guilty of this, because I kind of get into that, that hustle mentality. And so how do you operate in that capacity now? I mean, do you trust your gut more? Are you more like strategic? And what are some of the things that you teach your clients to do?
Yeah. So 2018 was really like, I said, when you have this, you will have this words of the year. So my coaching and my podcast is Fearless and Successful. So the first year of 2018, I said, I'm going to try everything. And I did. Like, I was like so crazy. My coach said like, try ads, try this, and I did everything. 2018 was like fearlessly go into anything, try, experiment. Yeah, I got burnout. I almost got divorced. Like it was really like learning, but I learned to fail fast and to move even faster. I was like crazy, so much action. Then 2019, so I said, it's a change time. So I need to change something. I need to change within how I operate. So it's not just go, go, go. And that was like, that was a change. So, and then 2020, so in 2019, I started to work with James Wedmore, and he was so crazy woo-woo, and I was like, this guy like teaching me manifestation and intuition, like what's this, like are you joking me? That's for so woman. And I was like really absorbing him, like literally absorbing his mind and podcasts and coaching and everything. I was like blown away. Like, this guy, like everything what he does transcends into this intuition-led results and coaching and everything. I was like, just wow. So I said in 2020, in 2020, it's going to be intuition. You will not believe, like 2020, I did everything what my heart said. No coaches, like I had the tons of support, but it was always like what my heart initially says. Our business grew from 20K to 100K in that year. It was crazy. No strategy. When I said like, yeah, strategy, of course, but it was a plan, but it was everything from, if I didn't feel something is right, something is off, I just said, you know what, guys, we are not doing this. It was a lot of like, okay, where are you going? You're like a helium balloon. We always need to take you a little down. Like, what is going on, Dee? Well, you're going too fast into the sky. Like, what? Come down. And I said, no, guys, just follow. My team was crazy. And yeah, I think it was really letting go like really shifting the mind and really trusting my gut. That 2020 was really the year of that.
I feel
Now
that
this year,
so many levels.
and it happened like, you know how crazy, when I said, I need support in my business. So I called in, like I really called in. It's crazy. I said, okay, I need this support. And you won't believe, like from nowhere, this coach, this client, this team member, someone appears and I just have like full body chills. And I said, that's yes. And when I didn't felt something is wrong, I would say no with so much ease, no guilt, because before I would have like, oh my God, I need to let go of this team member. I learned hire fast, fire even faster if you don't feel that they're a match, because it can like really, I would, emotionally, when I'm thinking about my mind and like being this leader, well, I'm not just leader for myself. I'm also, if someone isn't on the team that's not contributing with the energy, I don't care about skills. Everything is teachable, but more with the vision and energy. If someone is not contributing to the team, it on a long run, it will have so much bad effects. So yeah, I'd rather have like 1 week of no sales, nothing, than to have like this bad energy in the business, because it can go like really, really bad. So saying no to things and people and opportunities, that was big in 2020.
Yeah. Yeah. I think saying no is one of the hardest things that I think women in general, people in general, business owners in general have to learn to do. We just get in the habit of like that people pleasing, or like comparing yourself to what everybody else is doing. And so that's where I love how you're talking about like the intuition and the energy side of things, because this is where like the manifestation occurs, right? Like it has to feel good. You can't like manifest from a place of lack. You can't manifest from a place of this doesn't feel good, or who am I, or this isn't working, or, wish and hope and pray that the right thing is going to come. You have to start living in alignment with what feels good and trusting your gut. So what are some other things that you've done intuitively in your business to kind of help you scale?
Yeah, so this was probably in September 2020, when we just finished our fifth launch for my program. And we always did live launches. I felt that I was so drained. It was not because of, I was so drained. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do these live launches anymore, because it doesn't bring me joy. Like I want to have fun in my business. And that was like one of the decisions that we made as a team. And I said, I'm not going to be doing any more boot camps. I'm not going to be doing any more challenges, webinars, etc. I'm going to automate. And it was really like, when I said that, like in October, it's September, October, I started to work with a high-end client came to me. We worked with an agency, and she said, I want to create a course, an evergreen course. I called in, I said, no, this will be my business model. And this client appeared. And that was like a clear sign. If I need to teach someone else, it wasn't just, I know in theory how this will look like, but I actually had a guinea pig to test, and it really worked. And it was such a great process that we developed. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to be doing any more of live launches. I'm going to establish affiliate partnerships. And in 2021, I said, I'm going to do more of affiliate partnership for my mentors. And that's, I didn't know how this will unfold. It was just pure wish. It was desire of mine. And it manifested in such a beautiful way. Like, mentors came, programs came, like everything is just like laying out so beautifully, because I'm so clear what it is that I want.
So how has your business shifted then? Because you've done one-on-one, you've done group, you've webinars, workshops, all that good stuff. So what does it look like now?
Yeah. So now we have our signature program it's group coaching program that I teach. So I coach live bi-weekly. And basically we just came out of affiliate program for my students, which was bonanza.
Yeah.
It was a short period of time that they were promoting. We didn't got any new students, but I learned on the back of one other affiliate program that I did. I learned what were the mistakes, and we are actually relaunching our affiliate program in September with now like kind of priming them.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be doing only support to my students. So that's like kind of a signature program. From that on, I only invite people to work one-on-one with me from the program where they are ready to scale, where they already launched a program, a course, and they already made some results. So from that on, I take them to either automate or scale onboard team or whatever that is. Maybe Facebook ads with my team member, or just evergreen course. So that's the second offer. We also have a membership that is like really low. This is a funnel that we drive people in. I do monthly group coaching calls. It's a very low offer. It's kind of a passive income. And just now, in 2 weeks, we are starting the first round of our 6-month mastermind, which is super cool. I'm so excited. Jamie actually helped me to nail down the offer.
Oh, I
and
love that.
we have 11 beautiful women inside, which is so great. We're just kicking off, and these are kind of 3 offers that I'm really looking forward to go even deeper, because before I had courses. I have like gazillion courses, like 12 or 13 courses, which is crazy. Now it's everything so streamlined and it's so clear. Like when I see the outline, so we have like this outline how we are driving people through the experience. Is just such a clear picture.
Yeah, I know sometimes they say to, and this is kind of the process that I'm going through now, is like decluttering your business and kind of just having like 3 focal points versus like, oh, I'm going to create a product for that. Oh, I'm going to create a product for that. Oh, I'm going to create a product for that. And it's like, no, maybe if we just simplified everything, it's going back to that, what you focus on, you get more of, right? So if you focus on one particular program that you're really, really great at, or one particular skill that you're really, really great at, you can expand upon that versus kind of like, and I think everybody, when they first get started with anything, whether it's building a business or manifesting or weight loss or whatever it is that they're working on, they just kind of throw noodles at a wall and see what sticks, and then kind of work from, at least that's what I did. I was like, well, let's try this.
100%. Yeah, I did that too. In 2018 was so much experiment. I did 5 weeks of this and 21 days of this and 66 days of this. Like it was like crazy. It was so many programs that I created. Now I do these live workshops. There are like primary feedback of my students, and they say, you know what, I launched my podcast, and I wouldn't like teach how to do podcasting, but there's just like so many of my clients are launching podcasts, and they just said, you know what, would you do a boot camp for us? And I said, yes. And this is, I'm already doing for them. So I would take this 2-hour live workshop and I would just put it out there, price it, package it. And if we get any other students in externally, that's okay. Then I'm going to upsell them to the Launch Academy. If not, I'm still serving my clients. So it's really going from this baseline. What do my current student need? So we go from there. Yeah, I'm not adding new value. I'm just listening to them, what it is that they need.
Exactly. And as I'm like sitting here, I'm like, shut up, Sasha, let her finish. Cause I'm like, listen more, talk less. But it's like hard for me to even say that because I completely agree. And anytime that I'm like in a rut, I'm like, hey, what do you guys need from me? What questions do you have? And, you create things based on the people that you're already serving versus like creating it and then trying to sell it to somebody, regardless if whether or not if they want it or not. I find that a lot of times in the people that I work with, they say, oh, I want to do this business or I want to do this program, but I need it to be perfect before I launch it. And maybe you have a different swing on this, but I'm like, yeah, but you have to survey and kind of see what is needed before you create this product or service, because if there's not a demand for it, then you're putting in all this time, energy, and effort for nothing,
Yeah, 100%. Like validating your idea is easier than actually like doing something and, validating upfront, then actually put there something and have the consequence of, ending up with no buyers. This is what I did when I launched my first program, which like ended up like having one client, my friend, because I worked my butt off like for 3 months. I thought that this is going to be the best program for moms. Like, and this is like, again, like universe, like seriously. So the program was Busy Mom Academy. Okay. Hear me out, like busy mom, right? And the heading was, I still have it in my head, like, stop sacrificing your time and family and build a business of your dreams. I was nowhere near. Who am I kidding? Like in theory, I knew I had a coach and all this good stuff. I built this with 7 other experts, and it was like I knew what is the framework. But did I validate this idea with my current audience? Heck no, I didn't even have an audience for that matter. I didn't have any network like when I started. Like I didn't even ask what people need. My messaging was so broken. And on top of it, like I did so much stuff on my own, building website, building a course, like graphics, recording videos, like everything. I did everything. And so at the end, when I was in a sales mode, my energy was so low. I was praying not to sell this because I was so fucking tired. Sorry. Yeah. That how can I even serve these people? Like I worked my butt off, and at the end, I'm gonna serve these ladies how to not sacrifice their time and kids. Like I already did this. Like what? So universe said, you know what, women, first you have to lead by example, and then you can like energetically be on that match where you will sell whatever. So I didn't believe in my product.
Yeah.
I really didn't, because it obviously didn't work for me. So how could I coach or teach someone else?
Yeah. Well, and sometimes I think that the things that we're trying to teach are the lessons that we need to learn. You know what I mean? Like I've only become an expert in like my field because I've practiced it for so long, because it's exactly what I needed,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And this is the thing that I learned, like either you get a lesson or a result. Mm-hmm. It's never a failure. It's always a lesson. So I learned. So that's why I'm saying that 2018 was definitely a year of lessons, no results whatsoever. There were results, but it was more like shifts and lessons, what not to do in business. So I could, yeah, really like, and then when you know what not to do, you are able to coach and teach people, and really help them, to guide them what they, and some of these strategies might be good for someone else, but now I know. When someone asks me, like, so what do you feel? Like, I don't feel anything. You explore what feels good to you. I tried this. I can give you a framework. I can give you an outline. I can give you a template. Yours is to test. Does it feel good? Might work for you. It didn't work for me.
Yeah. So what are the big things that you see with your clients, and what are the things that you teach them? Walk me through kind of that process.
Yeah, so this is a cool question, because we are now like really shifting from, a lot of people say, you are very good in this unlocking the entrepreneurial mindset, where I've been an entrepreneur for so long, and I know that entrepreneurial mindset takes a different mentality, different mindset than someone who is working in a job. Because in a job, I believe you have limited potential. So you're dependent on someone else. You can't use, maybe this is changing now, hopefully, probably. But, you can't just go and say, okay, I'm going to work from 10 to 2 and then from, 7 to 9 and whatever, I'm going to work. So I feel that a lot of clients, that what I help them is to see what are their capabilities, what are they capable of doing, and then giving them the strategies. So they're most of the time, like really now I see how they are they're just like, not even stuck, but they just choose to not to do something because they believe that, who am I to be doing this?
Yeah.
And I was like, again, it's just like, small. I think calling them out on some of their beliefs, this is my favorite thing to do now. Like, it's just like, okay, so what's happening right here? So like asking them really good questions, I think this is the best. It's not even about me, what I experience, but is that now that I built a little credibility and they know what I did in my business, I'm fully transparent. It's more of a, okay, so if D says, then it has to work. But it's more of a, you have to find what it is that's going to work for you. It's not like Coach D will come and she will give you a magic formula. It's not about that, but it's really finding that within. I think that I'm tuning into this, and really I like this. We have now everything, like every single process, how to do webinars, how to do live launches, how to do, podcasts, how to create content, how to plan your like everything. Like from a business point of view, like there is no thing that is not untacked in my program. Where I come up as a coach is really like, okay, so what do you need? What's coming up for you? You have everything laid down. Like, why aren't you doing the thing? What is preventing you? What is stopping you? Let me help you see what are the obstacles that you can overcome.
Yeah. And so what are the ways that you kind of bring people through that process? I mean, is it like in a call? Is there like a certain type of like strategy? Are there certain questions you ask? Because like when I work with people, we'll do like clearing sessions or like energy healing sessions, or we'll like dive deep into like the stories and create new stories. So is there like like, how do you do that?
So we have group coaching calls in our signature program. So that happens on a bi-weekly. And before that, we have like kind of a container where they can ask questions in the group. And I kind of see like what's coming up when they have a conversation. And it's always like, for me, it's very important that we always establish how I work as a coach, that we establish, okay, so you came to this call, you ask for help, you commit yourself to do the work. Next time when I see you, you better do the work. So it's like really important to establish that accountability as well.
Yeah.
So once they go through the process of coaching, and sometimes it takes like 45 minutes. Sometimes like these stubborn people are just like so in their head that it's like, and I don't want to do this. So, okay, what do you want to do? And it's like, no, I don't believe in this. Like, okay, so what do you believe in? So it's always like back and forth until they say, okay, yeah, that feels good. Now I'm like kind of relief. I'm excited to do this thing. And when they are excited, I say, okay, what do you commit yourself? And next 2 weeks when we meet again, what are you going to do? What are the action steps? So I always leave them with action step. And it's kind of if they don't commit themselves and they don't do the work, it's like, that's on you. It's never, for me, it's like now in this place, like I don't take responsibility for your freaking results.
Yep.
I don't take responsibility for my coach, for my results. And no coach can claim my results because it's me who does the work. And I'm excited about my students. I spotlight their results. But would I say like, yeah, I guide them through, but they did the work.
Yeah.
So
I think it's part of it's like taking radical responsibility for the things that you want to create in your life,
100%. You just show them, like, I think like now you just show them what is possible. And then, you know what, if you want to have this, then you have to do something. You have to change.
Yep.
And we had a phone call today with my client, with my students, and it was like, yeah, but this is like, there's always someone who have this victim mentality, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
the person, I hope this person is listening now, because I'm going to call you out. It's always like, yeah, but in my country, and here is like, it's not possible. Don't tell me to change my mindset, because it's just not possible. And then you give them like, okay, so there are like few possible options for you. No. I did everything. You're not hearing me. And then I say, okay, so if you did everything, how come you're still not moving the needle? You're still where you were a year ago if you did everything. You're like, okay, there's maybe one thing. And then we go, okay, what's that one thing? Oh, I will try this. Like, taking responsibility, and not saying like government is fault, my husband is fault, my kids are, to blame. Take responsibility, like personal. Don't you give your power away to someone else.
That's exactly,
take responsibility.
Yes, it's taking seriously like 100% responsibility in the things that you want to create. And it's the same thing with like manifestation or law of attraction or anything that you want to attract in your life. You can't just say, oh, I tried this, and this, and then give up. Like, you have to throw everything you have at it. You have to be committed.
Yeah. And I think it's also like, I see people giving up too soon.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sometimes the process takes longer. And it's like, I think for me, 2020 was more of an internal shift than it was like, of course, externally happened, like this 3D, like, of course it was good. But the biggest win that it was that internal shift to say no and to let go of some of the stuff that are really holding me down. When I clearly see now what are the things that don't serve me, and I'm like, I'm so fearless about it, and I say, you know what, I'm going this direction, and there is no freaking way that you're gonna stop me. And whoever is on that path to stopping me, like, I'm gonna crush you. Like, seriously, I'm so committed. And I'm not saying like, and even if there is an obstacle, I know that obstacle will be my process. It's gonna be painful, but it's also gonna, give me the growth strength, the growth mindset. And I'm not someone who will say, you know what, poor me, like, yeah, I need to deal with this. And I'm going through some personal transformation at the moment. And it's like, you know what? I'm excited. I might be homeless in 6 months, but who cares? I'm having fun. I'm enjoying the process.
Oh, goodness. I love this. Okay. So how can people, okay, first, what is one thing you want to leave listeners with today? Like if the one big takeaway, and then tell me what's coming up for you, what's next, how can people get in contact with you, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm assuming like people, and whether that's like, entrepreneurs listening to this, or even like people who are in 9 to 5, to change your life, you really need to get to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like start with you, because there is no, like, it's not the coach, it's not the mentor, it's not anyone that will change you if there is not a seed of a change already within you.
Yep.
Right? So start with you, like, whether that's a personality test, whether that's like whatever, like start with getting to know who you are and who you want to be. Like get as much as clear as possible. What is one of the processes that I did in one of my programs is really like writing a 100-year speech, like my birthday speech for my 100th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And in this speech, my daughter is going to be 75 years old, and she's going to read that speech. And it's so emotional, but it's also so vivid. I see it. It's going to happen. And these are the exact words, like when she says, like, this, we are here to, attribute the life of D, like blah, blah, blah. And every time I feel that, I can see it, I'm just so emotional. I'm just like, yes, that's going to happen. So knowing who you are, and also like getting the clear picture of where you are going, who are you becoming? That's my tip.
Absolutely. You know what? That's funny that you say that, because that actually reminds me of like the visualization and the emotional piece of like the manifestation, and knowing that it's going to happen is like putting yourself in that space of what it would feel like when it does happen.
Yes. And it's always better.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love this. All right. So how can people find you? How can they be a part of your program? How can they learn more? Tell me all the things.
I would love for your people to connect with me on Instagram. It's Dijana Llugolli. I can't spell my name, for goodness sake. But you will probably, so on Instagram, my first name, last name, if you want to get full scoop of my craziness. And yeah, I think we can start there. If you want to peek, on my website, that it's coming up soon. Someone told me that I have the most badass coming soon website. So you can check that if this is going to be published by the end of the June. So it's dijanallugolli.com. So come and also like have a listen on our Fearless and Successful podcast. We are having a blast there.
I love it. Yeah, your podcast is so much fun. You're just so much fun.
Yeah, you're a guest. You're a guest. Of course it's fun.
Oh, I love it. I love it. You're so fun. You're so high energy. I think what you're doing is amazing. I saw you had James Wedmore on. You were doing some stuff with Tony Robbins. I mean, you're always out there with you're playing with the big wigs. You know what I mean? Like you're out there and you're doing the thing, not just talking about it, you're doing it.
I'm just going to say it. I had the best of the best. Jamie Galino Davis on my podcast.
I know. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't wait.
She's the best. She is the best. I had so much fun. And this is also the thing that I didn't know. Like it just came into my mind, and I said, you know what? This year I'm becoming millionaire. And there was like my bestie said, okay, why not have a special show becoming becoming the millionaire.
Wow, I love that.
And we are having the short episodes of, people who are in that space of being a millionaires. And I'm interviewing this really amazing people, just short clips, 15, 20 minutes. And so I committed myself to have 30 podcasts of these high-end profiles. And so far I have 10, which is so good. I feel so pumped. And I'm so like, just having these conversations, like one-on-one coaching with this high profile people. It's so good. It's so good.
I love that. That is so awesome. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah. So where you want to go, like, and I think that's also a tip. Like, if you want to go in a direction, make sure that you are getting the support, you're surrounding yourself with people who are already there. Like, that would be also a tip.
Yeah. Yep. I always say
I'm gonna send you the invoice for this one.
No, but you're right though. I mean, I always say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get in a different room. You need to surround yourself.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Amen, sister.
You need to get in a room where people are going to challenge you, that are doing the things that you want to do, that are helping you make it possible, helping you see that it's possible, and, helping you expand, helping you really create that life that you want to be living. If you're around a bunch of individuals or, just folks who don't really have that mindset or that space to hold for you, then you need to find different people.
Yeah. So, and this is so fun because I was watching the reels and I was laughing so hard. Like, there's a person who did this. If you always need to be a bigger person, stop being surrounded with people who are small. I was like, yeah, no, it's like, yeah, not being with small people. I'm with big people because I want to be a bigger person. But at the same time, there is this, and this is probably a conversation for next time, but how do you go, like, people like me and you, we get this, but there are people still who are, but how do I go from, I'm surrounded with my mom and dad and my husband and my kids, like, these are already 5 people that I'm always surrounded by, and I still can break through. And a lot of people think that there's like this, in this day and age, we might be like socially disconnected, but we are so virtually connected. You have a choice. You have a choice to absorb, to surround yourself with people who are on that level that you want to play. Yep. So stop being victim. Even if you have, a partner that it's not supporting you, or kids that are like always on your back, just find that 5 minutes, 1 hour, like, devote that time to be in that high level support system or container.
Yep, it will 100% change your life.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and having this conversation with me. I can't believe like this last hour has flown by, but they say, time flies when you're having fun. So I really, truly appreciate you hopping on here and having this conversation with me today.
Thank you so much. It was so good. And I wish you good luck with your 3rd baby, mama. Keep on rocking because you are such an inspiration.
Thank you.